In one savage post, 50 Cent dismantled Jay-Z's iconic image with a single line that not only clowned the mogul, but also revealed a hidden truth. Jay will never recover from Diddy's trial.
You're going into the Jay-Z thing.
Yeah.
So recently we just saw, we look at the accusations, and we're going to get to Diddy as well, but you look at the accusations, and there's an accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
The statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're gonna find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
Tonight, we pull back the curtain on a scandal that has rocked the music industry. While Jay-Z, born Sean Carter, graced the red carpet at Disney's premiere of Mustafa, alongside his wife Beyoncé, his daughter Blue Ivy, and even his 79-year-old mother-in-law, Tina Knowles, a storm was quietly brewing behind the scenes.
Seemingly unfazed, staying focused, a smile plastered across his face, even flashing the peace sign. The billionaire music mogul under fire with his family at the LA premiere of Disney's Mufasa, The Lion King, putting on a united front. The glitzy Hollywood night out for Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and 12-year-old daughter Blue Ivy came just 24 hours after the lawsuit, packed with damning allegations, was released. Jay has denied the accusations. He's countersuing, calling the story heinous.
Everybody in the middle, right here!
The bombshell news could not have come at a worse time for the Carter family.
We're here today recording The Lion King.
Beyoncé and 12-year-old Blue Ivy both star in the new Lion King prequel in theaters December 20th. Despite the troubling news, Beyoncé and Blue Ivy arrived in matching gold. Mom in a strapless Balmain gown dripping in mirrored embellishments, and Jay-Z proudly watching his oldest child own the carpet in a strapless Christian Siriano for her movie debut.
I'm more interested in the response of Hollywood that went all in on Me Too, all in on Believe All Women, and yet, at least from those pictures, Jay-Z is still very much welcome as a celebrated member of the celebrity class.
Yeah, Leland. Well, we saw, the whole family come out last night. They really put on a united front. Beyonce stood by him. They went to support their 12-year-old daughter. Even Beyonce's mom was there, Tina Knowles. But what you have to understand is, obviously, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. But in the court of public opinion, if you look online and you look at Twitter, and especially his response to his response and his emphatic denial and his statement, no one's really kind of on his side here. And, no matter what the appearances may show, if you look at the court of public opinion, they have their own opinion on him.
A shocking rape allegation dating back to an MTV afterparty in 2000 has thrust him into a legal maelstrom. Accusations he dismisses as blackmail and extortion. Yet it isn't only the case itself that has tongues wagging. It's the explosive interplay between these controversies and the ongoing trial of Sean Diddy Combs that could forever reshape the power dynamics in hip-hop.
I do want to switch gears and talk about this breaking news just happening tonight that involves both Jay-Z and Diddy now. This is an amended complaint accusing Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 along with Sean Diddy Combs. This is a new civil filing, and we see the anonymous accuser here alleging the assault occurred after she was driven to an MTV Music Video Awards after party. This lawsuit was originally filed in October, just today refiled to include Jay-Z. I mean, let's start with the basics here. What are you learning about this? What is standing out to you?
Well, what is standing out to me is she was very specific about several things. She describes the house, she describes the driveway, she describes the exact assault, what happened. She talks about various stages of things that occurred. And I think that this is good because this way it can either be corroborated or not corroborated. So she's painted herself in a corner.
Why add Jay-Z now if this originally was filed back in October? Why not do it then?
Very interesting question. I think, we're seeing the same attorney for many of these complainants. And I think we're going to see more and more people added. I think there's a lot that they were looking to prove, and maybe they didn't quite have what they thought they needed to file against Jay-Z initially.
The disturbing civil case that was filed against Sean Combs back in October was just amended today. A small change with big implications, naming Jay-Z as the person initially identified in the suit as Celebrity A and accusing both men of raping a 13-year-old girl together back in 2000. The suit says they took turns assaulting the minor after the Video Music Awards show that year, and that another celebrity who still hasn't been named watched this happen. But someone who will not be named at all in this case is the accuser, who again was only 13 at the time. ABC News contributor and former prosecutor Richard Frankel tells us other lawsuits have not survived because the accusers have asked not to have their names be in the case at all. But this is different.
The judge has actually agreed that the victim can remain anonymous and that the case can proceed. So there seems to be a little bit more to this case. And again, as we go forward, there are more allegations, more facts coming out about this case. Of course, the defendants are denying it and strenuously denying it. But that's what a trial is for.
Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, in a statement tonight blasts the attorney who is representing the woman, accusing him of extortion and saying in part, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away."
50 Cent, who has never been one to shy away from stirring the pot, has been vocal about the drama surrounding Diddy's trial, a case mired in accusations of racketeering, sex trafficking, and exploitation. Diddy, a titan whose influence once shielded him from scrutiny, now faces legal demons that threaten to upend his entire empire.
We are rapidly approaching Combs' trial on federal charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. May 5th, 2025, out in the Southern District of New York. Before you know it, it is going to be here. And the government essentially alleges that Combs, for years, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, including participating in elaborate sexual performances, sometimes with commercial sex workers, and also to protect his reputation and conceal his identity, and that he would use the resources and employees of his business empire to create a criminal enterprise that engaged in all sorts of illicit activity. The government writes in response to the defendant's letter asking the court to rule on its motion for a bill of particulars, originally filed on October 15, 2024. The government continues to oppose the motion, which was originally styled as a request for a bill of particulars identifying victims and has now been apparently broadened to encompass not only victim names, but also the names of a large number of potential government witnesses. The defendant provides no persuasive basis for his request, which in any event will be fully satisfied when the government provides the information on the schedule already set by the court, and the request should accordingly be denied. They go on to write, for the reasons set forth in detail in the government's October 30th, 2024 opposition to the motion, premature identification of victims and witnesses carries significant risks in a case like this one, which involves numerous allegations of violence, coercion, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering.
Every comment by industry insiders is scrutinized, and none is as incisive as the one delivered by 50 Cent. In a now-deleted Instagram post that quickly spread across outlets like TMZ and the New York Post, the 49-year-old rapper shared a candid snapshot from the premiere. He captioned it, "Jay said they said I rapped a kid. Everybody get dressed, we going to see Mustafa. LOL." That brief, provocative message was far more than a mere jab. It was a calculated strike, exposing fissures in Jay-Z's carefully constructed public persona.
50 Cent explains his choice to mock Jay-Z amid assault allegations against the rapper and Sean Diddy Combs. The 49-year-old is explaining why he chose to take to X, formerly Twitter, to troll Jay-Z amid rape allegations that were filed in a December 8th lawsuit. After news of the claims broke, 50 Cent posted on the platform questioning the status of the Super Bowl halftime show, which Jay-Z's Rock Nation curates with the NFL. Then in an interview on December 9th, the rapper explains what was behind his joke.
For a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know? I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back. The NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right.
The rapper didn't stop there, though. On December 9th, after Jay-Z attended the Mufasa premiere with his wife Beyonce and their daughter Blue Ivy, 50 posted on Instagram in a since-deleted message poking fun at Jay-Z for attending amid the legal drama.
Circle for me. I won my first award here 25 years ago.
Why would 50 Cent choose this moment? When Jay-Z was expected to celebrate a family triumph on one of the biggest nights of the year, to bring up such an explosive claim? The answer lies in a tangled web of past feuds, business rivalries, and hidden agendas that have long shaped these rap legends' careers. For years, 50 Cent and Jay-Z traded lyrical barbs, from the infamous "How to Rob" to cutting remarks that left fans wondering if their rivalry was more than just artistic competition. But this latest post transcends old grudges. It ties directly into a larger narrative: the fallout from Diddy's trial. And what it portends for Jay-Z's 50 Cent's audacious mockery implies that Jay-Z's association with Diddy's empire might be a fatal flaw. Behind his polished exterior, the mogul's ties to Diddy's questionable network could soon become his Achilles heel. While Jay-Z vehemently denies the rape allegation, calling the charges absurd and part of a shakedown scheme, his legal team is locked in a fierce battle to have the lawsuit dismissed. They argue that the accuser's claims are riddled with inconsistencies, yet the mere association with such explosive controversy casts a long shadow over his reputation.
Jay-Z has strongly denied the accusations, telling NBC News in a statement, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people." Sean Diddy Combs is right now behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after he was denied bail for a third time. Federal prosecutors in New York criminally charged him in September with racketeering, sex trafficking, and other offences. He's denied all the accusations against him. His trial is scheduled to take place in May. NBC News reports that Texas-based attorney Tony Busby, who filed the suit, has not commented. In Jay-Z's statement to NBC News, he accused Busby of blackmail. He says, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny."
But according to a filing from Jay-Z, that's not the case. Benji Madden did not attend the VMAs, did not attend the purported after party, and was not even in New York at the time. Instead, he was halfway across the country in the Midwest on tour with his band Good Charlotte. What's more is that Jane Doe's father apparently didn't pick her up after the attack. This is from the Jay-Z Motion 2 quote. He told NBC he was unaware of his daughter's assault allegation until the week he was interviewed. NBC reported that he had no recollection whatsoever of picking up Plaintiff, his daughter, on the night of the VMAs. And Plaintiff and her father were living in Rochester at the time, which would have required her father to drive more than 5 hours from their home to pick her up on the night in question, an event that no father would forget if it actually happened. When pressed by NBC, plaintiff Jane Doe was forced to admit, "I have made some mistakes. I've made a mistake by identifying. Not all the faces there are as clear," and even that she was guessing about key details, including the time it took to reach the venue. What is more, she admits she does not have a single corroborating witness over the last 24 years. So in that motion, Jay-Z's team called out some inconsistencies in Jane Doe's story, but they also called out a few technical issues that they say mean the case should be completely thrown out. So to start, there's the Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act. It's also known as the GMV. Jay-Z says there are issues with that act and Jane Doe's timeline.
In the ruthless world of hip-hop, alliances are as fleeting as they are strategic. Business relationships, like that between 50 Cent and Jay-Z, have always been built on mutual benefit rather than genuine friendship. 50 Cent has never pretended that their bond is personal. Instead, he has consistently treated it as a transactional association. His unfiltered takes, cutting through the glitz and glamour, suggest that Jay-Z's every decision is driven by self-preservation rather than principle.
Jay-Z a little bit. Yeah. Like you've been saying, people gonna come for it.
No, I thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
To make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist.
And so he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me, it's now.
It's them. When M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
let's go.
Yeah.
What's your and Jay's issue?
It's just competitive stuff.
It's really just competitive.
This is what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
You are on the top rapper list of all time. You're in the top 20. Is this list right? 50?
No, it's not right.
Where should you be?
I don't think that you could really put together a list like this without being biased at some points, because someone's personal appreciation for these artists of making them place them where they place them.
What about top 3? Jay-Z, Kendrick, Nas, top 3. Is that about right or not?
No. They're still good artists, but not of all time, no.
Who should be number 1?
I don't know. I don't know who would be the number 1 artist.
Say hypothetically it was 50 Cent number 1, then who? Would it be Jay after that?
Probably not.
It's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. Let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
When you've been an artist that's been prioritized by a major label, you've had marketing dollars around your launches. If you watch Jay, he's not launching without the money.
Exactly. He always has like some kind of like sponsors.
You see 444
and
and this everywhere, little buses and all kind of stuff riding around. And you gotta say to yourself, when is the last time you've seen someone do that? You haven't even seen it for Beyonce.
Your pop divas like your Mariah Careys, your Jennifer Lopez or your Janet Jacksons, those different artists would at points have marketing campaigns that reach the excess of $20 million. Major record companies are not going to spend that much money on their project, so they got to figure out how to create campaigns that mirror that, or the audience doesn't understand. Like their audience will feel like, she was so big. Remember how big she was? What they're saying is, she had so much marketing. Remember how big the marketing campaign was?
Further deepening the intrigue is 50 Cent's cryptic tweet about the Super Bowl. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but are we going to still have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend. On the surface, it appears to be a humorous aside, but dig a little deeper, and it's a pointed comment on Roc Nation's role in the annual spectacle. Jay-Z, as the head of Roc Nation, has helped shape marquee events like the Super Bowl halftime show, a platform that, until now, symbolized ultimate cultural dominance.
I hit the homie, the big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand, and he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Me.
Let's make some noise.
Like the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of the culture. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Right.
Look,
Because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre a little.
Right.
And then maybe I stay out of trouble.
Nah, but you told us before. You said sometimes you'll say things because you're being bullied.
Yeah.
You know how we say bully and
all
petty.
the time, like when that happens. As soon as that happens, you know what happens in my timeline, babe? Oh yeah, but you think it's funny. You're next, buddy.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh shoot.
So you feel bullied.
Yes, I'm getting pushed around here.
Hey man, do you see any of the comments when people are like, yeah, when that dropped, this is the first place I came?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming there, big. Like I put up an ad.
Right.
That's the least thing that people like when you got professional pictures that don't have flaws in them. They don't want to see that. They want to see your actual lifestyle. Right. So I put a professional picture like this. Leave me alone, people, because I know you're looking for what I'm gonna say. And then I put the next picture up and say, 50 Cent Action TV.
Every angle of this unfolding drama ties back to one explosive conclusion. The fallout from Diddy's trial is set to be the undoing of Jay-Z's empire. The more Jay-Z defends his innocence and attempts to sidestep responsibility, the more 50 Cent's scathing commentary exposes the vulnerability of a man whose power was built on alliances that now seem fatally compromised.
It's another twist in the legal showdown between Jay-Z and attorney Tony Busby. The two have been going back and forth in the court system and on social media after Busby filed an amended lawsuit on behalf of his client, accusing the 99 Problems rapper of raping a 13-year-old girl with Diddy back in 2000. Both of which have denied the allegation. But the accusation alone has Jay-Z and his team fighting back. First, he vehemently denied the allegation on the Roc Nation social media page and claimed Busby was extorting him for money, while also throwing shots at Busby, calling him a deplorable human, saying the Texas attorney has no honor or dignity, and he's just an ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. Meanwhile, Busby responded saying Jay-Z was bullying and harassing him and the plaintiff in that case, while maintaining he'd let the matter settle itself in court. But now in a new lawsuit, a Texas man is claiming Jay-Z's lawyers are bribing people to sue Busby and his law firm. This 13-page lawsuit was filed on January 3rd in Harris County, Texas, and the plaintiff in the filing is being represented by none other than Busby's law firm, who filed the suit on his behalf. Now, Jose Maldonado, who is the plaintiff in this suit, is suing Jay-Z's attorneys and his company Roc Nation, but not Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z himself. According to the lawsuit, the defendants in this suit are Marcy Bryan Croft, her law firm MJ Legal, Roc Nation, and the law firm who is representing Jay-Z, Quinn Emanuel Urquhart and Sullivan. They allege the defendants conspired to obstruct justice by engaging in shadowy operatives to illegally get more than 24 current and former clients of Busby law firm to turn around and sue them.
Jay-Z's filing reads in part, quote, "The statute does not have retroactive effect." Plaintiff, Jane Doe, asserts a violation of the GMV law for conduct that purportedly occurred in September 2000. But the GMV law was not enacted until December 19, 2000, 3 months after the FAC, that's the first amended complaint, claims the conduct occurred and cannot apply retroactively to create a cause of action unavailable to plaintiff at the time in question. So basically all that means is the statute of limitations doesn't add up to use the GMV. But there's more. Jay-Z says that even if this GMV law did have that retroactive effect and the timeline didn't matter, The crime had to be committed within New York City. According to the FAC, again, that's the first amended complaint, plaintiff was driven from Radio City Music Hall to a large white residence with a gated U-shaped driveway, a drive that took 20 minutes. This is where the alleged assault took place. The FAC's description of the residence in question, however, combined with public records, confirms that any such residence, to the extent it existed at the time, would have been located outside the territorial boundaries of New York City. And if all else fails, Jay-Z's team says Jane Doe's timeline doesn't fit with the statute of limitations. The FAC alleges the conduct occurred 20+ years ago, well outside the VA's statute of limitations.
As Diddy's trial continues to unfold, the stakes are higher than ever. The legal proceedings, marked by aggressive maneuvers from both prosecutors and defense teams, promise to unearth uncomfortable truths about power, loyalty, and exploitation in the music industry. For Jay-Z, whose entire career has been a delicate balancing act between image and influence, the coming months may prove to be his most challenging yet. The relentless exposure of hidden ties and the mounting evidence against Diddy's empire are likely to leave a permanent mark on his legacy.
There's a conspiracy theory that Beyonce knew all about this the entire time and that these parties may have even been sacrificial, but also that she's been anyone that's come into direct competition with her. I know all that sounds absolutely crazy, but listen to this song by J. Cole.
Only bad thing about a star is they burn up. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. Rest in peace to Left Eye. Michael Jackson, I see you. Just as soon as I die. And she knows. She knows. And I know she knows.
So apparently Kanye West, when he grabbed the mic from Taylor Swift and taking her moment away, he was actually protecting her by saying Beyonce had the best videos of all time.
Anytime you watch, literally, you watch the Grammys, they all thank Beyonce. But why? So theory goes, way back, when Aaliyah, she was on the rise at the same time as Beyonce, theory goes that they decided to take out Aaliyah because she was such a competition to Beyonce to be #1.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are definitely people to be afraid of. Jaguar even alleges that Sean Carter stabbed her and has it on tape, and that just like Diddy, it'll be the women that get him in the end. And that just 9 months ago, Jay-Z was saying, quote, "You gotta be crazy like Diddy to make it," end quote.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler, and I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You wanna know what a box feels like going into your skin and ripping you?
Is 50 Cent's blistering takedown the final nail in Jay-Z's crumbling empire? Or is this just another twist in hip-hop's intricate game of power, where every secret alliance hides a hidden agenda? With Diddy's trial unraveling and explosive revelations on the horizon, one thing is clear: this saga is far from over. If you're ready to uncover every shocking detail and follow the fallout as it happens, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. The truth? It's coming, and you won't want to miss a single moment.